you're in the middle of Father Figures season 2, and the thing is this: I've been parenting for 19 and a bit years, and that started because of a young man that I'm about to invite. Well, you can probably see already, is on the couch with me, but I don't want to talk about him yet. But just pretend he's not here. I do that all the time anyway. It's a good parenting trick for anyone that's looking for some great parenting tips. Sometimes ignore the kids. It helps. It helps them develop character. No.
Yeah, it does.
James chapter 4 says that we cannot see tomorrow. One of the things I've loved about parenting is the adventure of it. One of the things that scared the heck out of me about parenting is the adventure of it, not knowing what comes next. When you have a baby, you bring them home from the hospital, they're cute, they're gorgeous, they're wonderful, and it turns out you know nothing about them. They know nothing about you, and then you spend the next 18, 19, 20 years getting to know each other. And you try not to have to, save up for enough therapy, I guess, is the point. So what I thought I'd do in this season of Father Figures is we've been talking about what it is for these kids that have grown up with this overwhelming, ubiquitous digital world. And they've been parented by people that didn't grow up in a digital world but had to transition into a digital world. There's an obvious conversation that I thought we could have with a couple of 19-year-old blokes that I know quite well. So for the first collab ever, collaboration. It doesn't matter. Welcome to Father Figures. And no direction.
Yeah, there you go. First podcast collab ever in the whole world, I reckon.
Yeah, no one's ever thought of this before.
No, this is brand new.
So, just context, everyone. Your name is?
Your son, Noah Goal.
Correct.
And my name is Nate Caruso.
Also your son.
Yeah, he's the other son. Anyone that's got young, teens in their house would know that you inherit a couple of other teenagers across the way. So I've fed you a few times.
Exactly right. Yeah. And that's all.
Picked you up at 1 o'clock in the morning, that sort of stuff. It's the
normal parenting.
Just the normal parenting thing. Yeah, I've had to give you some demerit points here and there, and hold your lunch money. Yeah. But you guys have known each other for how long?
2? No, 3.
I've stumped him with the first.
It's not that long. It's only like 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Because he came to school in year 10.
Right.
Yeah, 3 years.
Pretty new. And give us a bit of but you've done VCE together, and now you hit uni. And what are you guys doing?
We are doing a bachelor degree at Collards University of Social and Digital Media and Graphic Design.
Right.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we love creating. I mean, I love creating. He's just copying me.
Well, that's not true. We both did media also in high school.
Right.
And we both very much enjoyed it because it was kind of it was going to be one of those write-off subjects for us. Like we went into it going, Noel was actually going to leave. And I said, no, just stay.
Yeah,
I was going to
drop
join
it.
Oh.
And we were like, this is actually amazing, which is where we kind of went off.
What was it that switched for you?
It started. The class started.
You'd prejudged.
We didn't know.
Just a note, everyone. That's what they do. These young kids.
We didn't know what it actually was. We just kind of picked it up as like a write-off subject. It'll get us points for our ATAR, and it was like it's probably one of the easier ones.
Okay.
And then we actually started doing the class, and we liked it.
So straight up, the question we've been asking, I guess, ourselves, myself and my often co-host Heath, he's co-parenting. He's got 3 kids. We've got the 5, and there's a difference in the way that we both parent when it comes to digital devices in the house, all that sort of gear. Some part of me realised a while ago that even though I tried to limit digital devices because of all of the dangers that they can have, a lot of your creative processes are done right there in your hand on a phone, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, when I was trying to parent you, because I've given up now.
Okay. Yeah.
Was it hard? Did you feel like I understood what you were using the digital devices for?
I wasn't doing anything important or like making anything anyways. I was just watching YouTube.
So that came later?
Yeah.
The making stuff.
Well, the making, I think that's why uni's good at the moment, is because I'm learning so much more, like all the different abilities a laptop can do and all the different apps. Like you can
other than just watching YouTube.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I think you were right in doing that.
Whoa, hang on, replay that. What was that?
You were right.
Oh, come here.
Hey. Yeah. because otherwise I'd just sit there for hours and play Minecraft. Like lockdown, where I would play 7 hours a fortnight a day.
Now, this was news to me. I remember as a dad, it was one of those moments I walked in and I didn't know whether to, I guess, say no or it was one of those new community things.
Well,
where
you couldn't because there was 15 people listening to you.
Oh, I didn't care about embarrassing myself in front of you on your, what are they called, Discord channels.
Yeah, facts, yeah.
But I remember walking in and Noah was on a Discord channel, maybe with you, I don't even know.
Probably.
But there was all of these voices coming out of his computer. Yeah. And it was this, my mind was just slightly blown, like what have I just, if my parents heard voices come, it was because my mates were over at my house.
Yeah. But
there was no one at our house, but there was all these kids sort of, and it was how you did community. Mm. Do you still do community that way? Is that, or as you've grown, has it been less and less of that?
Oh, less and less. Like after lockdown, like COVID times, it probably just dropped off like a lot. It's
so should I have been worried? Like I remember being worried about, you're online, can strangers get to you, all that sort of stuff. Do you think we understood what was going on for you kids at the time?
Probably not, because it wasn't actually that.
It wasn't that dangerous.
It wasn't that dangerous.
That's what they say. See, this is the problem. That's what you guys say about everything. Yeah. And us parents are like, yeah.
I mean, no, they definitely do worry. If you're a parent, do worry.
Yeah, I think there's some people.
The internet's a terrible place.
Yeah.
Mm.
But in my sense, like it was fine. It was just my schoolmates playing Among Us till midnight because there was nothing else to do. You couldn't leave the house, so it's like.
So because
now that we're not in lockdown, yes, yeah.
So to put it in old people terms, the Discord channel was like a it's a conference
call.
Yeah,
like, and it had
multiple people on the call.
different like a Discord channel with like your mates. There's like different channels you can join. So you'd go on a Discord. There'd be like 3 people on the Minecraft channel, and then 2 people on the Fortnite channel, and you just switch back and forth. And
have the rules changed in your family? Were mum and dad, or was the parenting people in your life tough on you when it came to digital devices?
I think
initially, how did it work in your house?
To an extent, I feel like they were. Like, obviously, with most parents, like you can't get the iPad or the phone till a certain age or whatever. But I think like social media, I wasn't allowed that till I was at least 13 because I feel like it's not even all the strangers or all that. Like, there's also a lot of bullying like on social media. It's much more common than like strangers. Obviously. Still got to watch out.
Yeah. The stranger danger is different, but I've heard this a bit. Is that the bullying is more intense?
Bullying is insane
in the digital space.
100%.
Kids wouldn't say that stuff at school, but they'd say
because they can say it behind the screen, and it doesn't.
So did that affect you directly?
I don't think necessarily. I think that more my parents tried to keep me off social media to kind of avoid that.
But 13 still seems young to me. I don't remember when you ended up with a.
I got a phone when I was 14, and I think I was allowed Instagram.
Yeah.
And I think I got Snapchat when I was 15.
And that was only because you hassled.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I got TikTok.
And I still regret that.
When everyone started getting TikTok, because I remember having TikTok.
It wasn't even TikTok. It was Musical.ly.
I didn't have a phone when Musical.ly was a thing.
I did.
Yeah.
I was.
He's the
Musical.ly
OG.
was TikTok before TikTok.
I had 1,000 followers. I thought it was so cool. Yeah, no, right.
I've never had 1,000 followers on anything. I think you're cool.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. I don't
Instagram,
think so.
Do you not?
Oh, I don't know.
You have like 3,000 Facebook friends. Does that count?
I don't know. So, and again, amongst your peers, was it hard when kids were getting? Because every family is a different process. Was it hard when you were seeing the kid who's 2 years younger than you getting a phone, or?
Oh.
Do you remember being upset about who got the phone first and that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I feel like that's just a normal human instinct, isn't
But I'm saying I didn't grow with that. That wasn't, like for us, it was like who had a Tamagotchi? Come on.
Yeah, well, it's the same.
Now it's the same again.
Yeah.
You guys want Tamagotchis again.
Oh, yeah. I know what that is.
Of course. Have you never seen them? The little animals on
digital
the screen.
Digital pets.
Yeah.
They're a thing again, bro. Catch up, man. The 90s is back.
Bra.
I keep saying, for all of those playing along at home, I keep saying that my son keeps saying, look at my new clothes, Dad. And I say, they're my clothes. I used to have that shirt and those.
I got these jeans the other day and Mum was like, I used to wear those when I was your age. And I just kind of
bringing them back.
But it's okay.
Yeah, but she looked hot in them.
Come
on.
Back to the podcast.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, I love you, Mum. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm proud of you for that.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
So, but going back to the bullying part of it, because this is it is the big spectre. It's the big spook thing for every parent.
Yeah.
And I know this guy's been smashed about by it. What was the correlation between what was happening online and what was happening at school? Because one of the things I observed was when I went home from school, I didn't really tell mum and dad what was going on at school. There was bullying going on, but it wasn't happening in my backyard or it wasn't happening at home. There was no way for that kid at school that hated me to keep that going to midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning like it was for you guys.
Oh, I don't know about Nate, but I've never been like targeted, like bullied.
Yeah.
It's just kind of those kids that are always mean to everyone.
Yeah.
So that's probably the only form of bullying like that's happened to me, but it's not like it's
Bullying.
not because they hate me, it's because they hate everyone.
Right.
Yeah, they normalize bullying as being cool and like saying it as a joke.
Yeah.
Like that's how their personalities are because they think that, you know, bullying, even if they're best friends or whatever, and
Yeah,
they bully
like-
each other, they're like, oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
But like that's just how
I've
they
seen
go
like
about it.
best mates, like cool kid best mates, just like bully each other, and mum will come off that like sad.
Devastated.
But we like they wouldn't say
Show it,
but
yeah.
you'd see it on their face. Like it's just So never actual proper bullying, but just kids that like to bully
It's
everyone.
interesting, isn't it? Proper bullying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but have you ever, I know you've been a subject of a scam online. Have you been subject of a scam?
A scam?
Or somebody, that was a bot or someone that got money out of you?
Yeah,
or,
no, I have.
Yeah. I don't know if you don't have to talk
No,
about
no,
it.
I can- I will.
Detail.
You say it. You say yours first. I'll say mine next.
What's
Mine's
yours?
funny. Well, like, I was coming home from work one time. I was waiting for to be picked up from work, and I got a text, and it's literally the name of the text was mum.
Oh, you told me this.
It was just straight up mum. Like usually, like when you get a scam text, like it's got a number.
Yeah.
It just said mum, and it like had, and I think I deleted mum's messages at some point before that for I think it was an accident, so it wasn't like there. So when the text popped up, there was nothing above it. So I was like, oh, that's just mum texting me, and it said something like, just at Coles, my card declined. Can you send me 100? It was like 150 or something just to cover the groceries. I'll pay you back when I get home. And then I did it.
It was a quick message. It said, can you send me money? I'll pay you back. And I think the way I remember it is you were literally about to be picked up by mum.
Yeah.
Mum was about to pick you up.
I sent the money and then mum picked me up. And I was like, weren't you just at the... And then, yeah.
Then boom.
But that's the difference too, because again, my generation, key cards were these magic things that didn't even come in till I reckon I would have been 16, 17 when I first got a key card. And you couldn't tap it. You had to swipe it and sign it and whatever. You guys have your money in an app on a phone.
Yeah.
So the text message comes through, nothing twigs. You hit go.
Yeah.
You go, mum needs the money. It kind of feels like a kindness, I guess.
That's my mum.
It's your mum. You send the money. What does it feel like after that when you realise what had happened?
Everything just drops. You're like, oh. I think I got it back in the end because I called Commonwealth and it was still pending.
Right.
But, yeah.
But your gut sinks. You feel a bit stupid.
Yeah.
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 But at least mum said thank you for actually sending me
Yeah.
money, like
There you
the
go.
initiative of it. So
There you go.
it was kind of branding points, I guess.
Well,
I don't know.
take the positives. What about you, Nate?
We actually had it was kind of a collective thing because my grandma was there as well with me. Obviously that's not, but my auntie apparently messaged me saying, oh, I need I think it was close to the whole grocery thing. I don't know where it was.
Similar kind of
But
thing.
she was asking for money and whatever. And
Yeah.
my nonna, my grandma, she goes, why is she messaging you for money or whatever? And I'm like, I don't know. She just needs to borrow some money. Like, she said she's
Nonna,
gonna pay
who's
me
only
back.
ever dealt in cash.
Literally.
Yeah.
But that's why. She goes
Yeah.
to me, let me help. Like, you don't pay for it. So she grabs my phone, starts texting her, and she's just acting like my auntie. We didn't think really anything of it because the people are just, oh, yeah, no, I just need the money.
Did well
for
to
now,"
keep it
whatever.
vague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's taken a photo of her card.
Mm.
And I see the message, I'm like, and that's when it started to click because you don't take photo, like, who takes a photo of a card and then sends it to a text, like whoever it is? You don't really do that. So I'm like thinking, why they actually asked that? So I look at it and I'm like, no, this is a scam. Like, this can't be right because we called my auntie and she goes, I didn't ask for that.
Yeah.
So we've had to call the bank, tell them to cancel the card, everything. And I was like, I felt bad as well because I felt like it was partly my fault because I kind of, you know what I mean?
I think the shame reflex is something that I've noticed a lot in these scams is that you're feeling like you're supposed to know what's going on in the online space. My suspicion is that your generation that's grown up with it, your parents are asking you, like, how does this device work a lot? So there's probably a bit of confidence for you guys with devices and just online spaces in general. And then when something like that happens, it's a little bit of a kick in the guts of, I feel like a jerk, I feel like a fool, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because you were one of the first generations to go through with just devices were everywhere. When was the first time you recall it being a subject in school where maybe they gave you a talk at the assembly or something like that? Do you remember much of that? Were schools any good at helping with that stuff?
I don't think so. My Covenant, I mean, not to name drop, but
no, your school.
Yeah.
My school. Yeah, I can't recall any like chats we had about phone.
It was just put it away.
Yeah, we'll just don't use it at school
Don't
pretty
use it,
much.
And you weren't allowed to use it. Like, as soon as you get off the bus, you couldn't even use it when you were walking or anything like that. My old school was much different.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they necessarily cared that much. Because it's such a big school as well. Like, you're on your phone in the morning, whatever. In class, don't use your phone, obviously. But, like, when you're at lunch or snack or whatever, a lot of people just have their phones out.
Oh, look, no, he never used his phone in class. I certainly don't remember getting any NBA score updates in the middle of the day at all. Dad, did you just see that play by Luka?
Luka wasn't playing for the Lakers.
Oh, whatever. I'm not saying he was playing for the Lakers.
Oh, true,
I'm saying you would.
Yeah,
I'd be like, dude, go back to class.
Yeah, but there's so many games happening on, while I'm at school. How am I supposed to keep up?
Well, this is my point, is the teachers and the educators in general are trying to create environments that are safe for your kids, but then the whole world is in your pocket and it becomes unsafe very quick. Do you guys have any comment on, as you're watching, and have you got little brothers and sisters, Nate?
I have 2 little step-siblings, and then I also have an older sister.
And have they gotten devices younger than you did?
I think similar age to me. I think maybe slightly younger, actually.
Because I think, has it been different for us? I don't actually remember.
I got a phone when I was 14. Luca got a phone. He got Grand's phone. He started off with an iPhone 11 because it was Grand's phone.
Grand for the win.
I had an Oppo Geno Z.
Oh, come on, man.
That?
He got a brand new phone by a no-name brand. And it was fun. It was there was a fair bit in it.
That was cool.
Good.
It had like Touch ID, but there was no actual button. You just put your finger on. And it had Face ID.
What? Oh, back then, back then, but at the time, that wasn't even really.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think the question that I want to dig into is, do you guys feel in control of the devices most of the time now, or do you still feel like they're coming at you, trying to get money from you, trying to get you... do you ever feel in danger now?
No.
No.
I think, obviously, I felt more... I mean, I never felt in danger, but I feel like I was more prone to fall for something just because I was younger. But I'm 19 now, more mature. It's just easy to see coming. So you just obviously don't give it anything.
I agree with that.
All right. Where do you get your news feed from?
Instagram.
TikTok.
And TikTok, but I feel like...
Instagram and TikTok.
Instagram for like sport stuff because I follow all the sport pages. TikTok just for whatever comes up on my For You page.
Yeah, there's so
Usually
many.
it's like,
oh my gosh, this just happened. And I'm like, oh, what?
Giggly, jiggly, cocomelon,
I don't know what's happening.
watermelon, tiger.
I just don't know what's happening.
Sorry, that was...
No, because it's interesting to me. That, so how do you think you'll create political opinion, religious opinion, all that sort of the stuff that actually, makes a conversation happen around a dinner table? Have you ever read anything from the Age or the Australian or the Herald Sun?
No.
So
probably at some stage, but it's not like something that I...
Could you name a journalist that you've read?
No clue. I think
Shams.
NBA updates don't count.
Oh, and Woj bombs.
What's that?
Woj, he was the guy before Shams.
All right.
Bro.
Okay, so Shams is more...
Woj is like famous, but then he retired.
Oh yeah, that'll happen.
And so now Shams is doing it. But now Shams is pretty famous because he dropped Luca and AD trade. So.
Right.
So those are basketball reporters. NBA.
So the thing that was told to us early on in the whole move towards digital spaces was these places are real communities, they're real spaces, they're real third place hangouts. Is that still true for you? Has there been seasons where it's been more true? Has anything changed? Would you say let's all hang out in a digital space together?
No, I don't think it's... I think now that we're older, it's not as common because we have cars and we always, like, our friend group at least, will always go, you know what, let's go here, let's go catch up, let's go do whatever. But obviously we have our time where we'll go on the phone or we'll kind of go, oh, let's all play this game or whatever. But I feel like it's not that common.
It's rare now.
Like, interesting.
We always
and that's
just
just
meet
like
up.
it's just FaceTime.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just FaceTime each other.
So it's basically the modern phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like we purposely plan to get together online.
Yeah.
If we want to hang out, we just go hang out because we all live pretty close to each other. Anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I see Nate pretty much every day of the week anyway. So it's
Yeah. And you're all watching shows from the 90s now anyway, right?
Are we?
I hear
When?
that Friends is popular again.
Oh,
I've never watched it in my life.
never will.
No, yeah, never will either.
Yeah. For you guys that want to be creators, like you want to be in that marketplace where you're making, there's sort of no boundaries. You're not really being taught to pick a lane, are you?
No,
No, not really.
we kind of just want to do everything, to be honest.
And that's why we're called No Direction.
Yeah, that's why we named ourselves No Direction.
Do you want to do some product placement
We don't
for this set?
we don't have product placement.
What's
Okay.
the product?
Not
placement?
yet.
I don't know. You could.
Follow No Direction.
did the
link in
Oodie.
bio.
Your younger selves,
Oh,
Oh.
you look back and you
I'm
think,
still young.
yeah, I know, but I'm saying, you guys got phones at whatever age you got them. Should you have?
No,
That's a tough
I'm not.
one.
I'm never giving my kid a phone.
Yeah. What?
I
No,
think phone, iPad, whatever. I'm not really. I don't mind it that. I think social media.
right, specifically that.
That's the
Yeah, I
one
agree.
thing I go. You're not getting that till who knows how long. Like
Yeah.
YouTube, Netflix, all that stuff. Like depends what you're watching. Like I don't mind it.
YouTube's
You got to
probably
keep a
fine.
kid entertained at the end of the day. I mean, you don't have.
You
all
guys
the
are
time.
very annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we were like the last generation of non-iPad kids. Now they're just straight iPad kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, Mum and I often reflect that we spent, the better part of a dozen years watching ABC for Kids.
Well, yeah.
It was just on
watched that.
24/7 in
Giggling
our
Who.
house, I swear.
Giggling
Giggling
Yeah, all
Who,
those
yeah.
good TV shows. I miss them.
In the Night Garden
Yeah.
came on, you know it was ready for time for bed. Like,
Oh,
that was.
I hated In the Night
It
Garden.
scared me.
Is that the
I
one
did
with the
it.
faces?
Oh, no.
No.
In the Night
Have you seen that one?
No.
It was the Tombley Boos and the Bombley Boos and the
Eagle Piggle.
Eagle Piggle.
Oh,
Oh, my
yeah.
goodness.
That scared me. That show. I don't know why, but I couldn't do it.
No, I wasn't a fan.
Remember the train show, Chuggington?
Chuggington, I love Chuggington.
I think this is
Chuggington was trying to break into the marketplace. They were like, Thomas the Tank, we're coming for you.
And they
Yeah,
just got
didn't
nowhere.
And they just,
got
it
nowhere
lasted a
close.
few years and then that was the end of that.
I wish my kids though, like when I have kids in the future, I wish they could experience like those shows and everything because for me that's a big thing.
You'll have your own, mate. And
When I have kids, I'm
Yeah.
gonna just take them through all the Disney movies.
Yeah,
I was
for real.
talking to a different 9-year-old that wasn't in our family the other day, and he didn't even know what Toy Story was.
Oh no.
Oh my!
Oh no.
He didn't know what Buzz Lightyear was or
Oh,
Woody.
parenting failed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's
that's
what I'm saying.
crazy.
So-
We cried at all of them.
I've watched it
Yeah.
50 times. I used to
I think
collect
we
all the
watched-
little toys.
Yeah,
Did you watch Toy Story 3 in the cinema?
I hated Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3, it was just crying and we
No,
were
Toy
worried
Story
about
3 was
Nah,
scary.
that was
But remember when they were in the conveyor and the rubbish? It was
yeah.
like they were
and
going towards the
They
fire.
were running to it.
Yeah, and the big,
Do you want me to stop and pray?
And the
Dear
big-
Lord.
Yeah,
bro, that pink bear gave me nightmares.
Yeah.
Lotso.
Lotso. Oh,
Lotso.
I remember it.
Hate that guy. And the monkey with the symbols.
No, the monkey was evil.
He was.
You know
the
they're
monkey
making a
looked
movie
evil.
now, like about that type of
No,
monkey.
they're not.
A horror movie, I swear.
Oh, I could see that happening.
Yeah, they're doing it, and it's like
Anyways,
Story
what
is
was
a
the
horror
original
film.
question?
Looking back to your younger selves,
Yeah. Oh,
I
technology.
guess it's a little bit of that question around what would you tell yourself as a younger person? And you're only 19, I get that. But did your folks do the right thing by us? Should they have held off more? Should we have? Because obviously for us as parents, we're working with the tide of community expectation at any given time, the emotional pull of the kid that's crying saying, Billy and Sally have a phone, why can't I have a phone? all those sort of things, which are absolutely when you're in that headspace for a child, it's your whole world.
Yeah.
And comparison is happening all throughout the schoolyard in lots of things, you know. We used to, for me as a kid growing up, it was the other kid had a jet hopper. The jet hopper was a remote control car. And I had the Target version, you know.
Yeah, no, remote control
never
cars
quite
are the best thing
worked.
ever invented.
So but that was all I wanted. For you guys, it was that kid has in you were talking about, you know, Luca had Grand Old, like Luca had a phone that was worth sort of $700-800, I guess it might have been at the time.
Yeah.
You know, which is a very expensive thing to give to a kid. We would never have thought.
But
of
I
that.
think I chose to have the Oppo over iPhone 7, so it wasn't like because I liked all the.
You liked all the bells and whistles, but
Yeah.
I'm saying, should we have held out a year or two longer, even on that for you?
Not phone wise. Yeah, maybe social media wise a little bit longer, but phone wise was probably right because I needed it because I was working and I started to work around that time.
That was, I was saying to Noah, Nate, that was interesting for me as a parent, realizing that checking your shifts, you know, logging hours, all of that sort of stuff. Okay, so to all the dads out there that are trying to figure out dadding, and I don't know, they've you guys seem like pretty good specimens. Like you've worked out perfectly, obviously.
Yeah, perfectly.
Do you have any advice for, like, you've got, I have parented you.
Have you?
Well,
I'm kidding.
Yep. How many stories do you want me to tell?
No, I was joking.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I'm just saying the questions to your fathers. Would there be advice you'd say, hey, Dad, it was, you know, instead of turning left, we could have turned right when it came to digital devices, letting me onto the game too young, those sorts of things. So any advice you would give me, I guess?
I think having a phone, as long as you're like watching their access towards the internet, having a phone's fine because it's like, it's kind of necessary now to have one. It's getting younger and younger.
Yeah.
I feel like because it's just the whole world now. Because when I got a phone, it's like my whole life was just school, church, and you'd take me everywhere. So it wasn't that bad. But I feel like now you need a phone. So I think having a phone is fine as long as you supervise that. Social media, hold it back.
To what age do you reckon?
When did I get social? I got 15, 16, so maybe. But even I feel like 17 and 18 is too old. I reckon around 17. That's what I'm thinking. Because that's kind of like when you're nearly hitting.
Do you think? Sorry, I'll let Nate answer. But
bring in more Xboxes and stuff because that's good. Because that's like you don't have access to the internet, but it's still like entertaining and fun. I reckon.
I don't know.
Skylanders, bring back Skylanders.
Oh, Skylanders is so good. I also like. Are you saying in my opinion?
Yeah, I'm saying you have now made it through the teenage years. You're still here. You appear to be a fairly happy kid. You know, you've got pretty good family structures around you, as far as I can see. Nonna's still there making your late night steak sandwiches, so it's all good. Yeah, would you say, hey, Dad, this is what you could have done, should have done?
I think that I feel like every father needs to have that like extent of like actually, I don't know, connecting with your son without any devices, without all that, you know, entertain your kid. Like I feel like that's the main thing, being a father. Like entertain your kid, be there for them, you know, do all this fun stuff. Then I know it gets to an age where kids don't necessarily need that as much, because I feel like you get to an age, whether it's 12 or whatever, you still need a bit of that. But like it gets to a point where you're like, you know, you're social, you have a bit more friends, which is where I feel like the whole iPads or entertainment come in, which I feel like is alright. But I feel like as a father, it can be very distracting to give a kid a device and then go, okay, cool, go on your way now. Like I feel like a lot of fathers have to understand that if you give your child social media or an iPad or whatever, they still need some type of bond and entertainment with their son.
They can't just sit on an iPad all day.
Exactly my point. You can't like now just go, here's your entertainment.
Because they will be quiet. And like especially if they're younger, they will be quiet if they're on an iPad. But I'm not trying to tell you that your kid's bad, but I feel like having an iPad for a long period of time, or like any type of screen when you're younger, and just like shutting them away and just be quiet, because it does work, but then it doesn't grow them in a sense
with that relationship,
with a relationship with you, or like makes it hard for anything. I feel like every kid that I've seen growing up, I don't know, but just try and limit access of technology when they're younger, and don't just hand them an iPad.
Yeah.
And tell them to be quiet.
So yeah, and the social science is telling that too. So it's good to hear it from your mouths as well. But okay, then maybe the broader thought is, looking back, and I know I'm sitting on the couch with you, but favorite memories of doing something with Dad. What comes to mind when you say the best thing I did with Dad was?
When I was growing, I didn't really have tech besides ABC Kids.
Come on.
So
Yeah.
And that was only like after school night times. So I feel like we did so much. Like Melbourne studio sessions, that's what I remember. On the red couches in Bay Studio, I think it is.
Yeah, the Base Studio, yeah.
Yep, next to St. Ali Coffee.
With Phil and Jared.
Yep. I remember going to some of your music video shoots. Random like church things, because we were always there. I lived there pretty much.
People don't realise how much church pastors' kids do.
Oh my gosh. I should have just been the pastor at that point.
No, I wouldn't wish that on you, buddy. The hard thing for parents, or certainly for the journey we've been on, is that every 12 to 24 months, the device type changes.
Yeah.
We started out with buying games on CDs for you, DVDs, whatever they were, cartridges, whatever.
Yeah.
All of that. Now it's just then we needed to buy. So there's a financial pressure on parents too, to figure out.
Take your kid outside.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. But again, I guess what I'm saying is that the challenge for parents now is take your kid outside is sometimes a fight that a parent doesn't have the energy to win.
Yeah.
And so my encouragement to dads is always, if you can, and this is why I keep coming back to the third space, we've just at home just built an outdoor space with a fireplace and a few things.
Yeah, and I've already had the fire on every night.
Yeah.
It's just
But when you were young, I built you a cubby house.
That was the best.
I'm saying for a child, every 2 to 3 years, you're almost a new person with a new appetite. So, but for you guys, I mean, you've experienced some bullying, you've experienced scams. Social media too early seems to be the common thread for you. So if you had to make a law, you're in government right now.
I think 16 is good with what they're doing now.
Yeah,
I think I like that.
I agree with that.
But then again, kids can just lie about their age online, so
On these apps, they need a proper way.
You still have to be supervised. But if like the government made the law like 16, I'd be happy with that.
Okay. So talk to me just briefly then about because you boys are churchy boys as well. Has it been hard to be kids that have grown up in well, for you're directly under the pews, you've grown up in church. Has it been challenging to represent faith in those spaces? Do you talk about it in those spaces at all?
Personally, I do a lot more now. I'm not trying to hide it.
Yeah.
That I love Jesus. I'm trying to make it as clear as possible. Without obviously forcing it onto people, but I just it's on my Instagram profile. Post
of who you are.
Yeah, pretty much. I think
because that's unique for me. In my uni years, I would wear shirts that had like Christian messages on it or something. Yeah. That was like,
and then also people see my tattoo and they're like, "Oh, you're Christian."
Yeah.
So that helps as well.
Yeah.
But you go.
I just don't think that. I mean, I know us as Christians a lot say like it depends on what environment we're in as well. Like you go to church and then you go home and are you showing faith the same way, or are you showing your love for God? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you showing that the same way? And I feel like that's also with Snapchat. Like, you'll be in a community of church and you'll be with your friends and, you can see the love for God in there. But then, like, you go on Snapchat or you go home or you're like, is that really people? Represented? Yeah.
Right. And that bothers you?
I think it
does. About myself
but
as well.
Yeah.
Ourselves as well, but, and like, friends. But... yeah, it definitely changes, but it's not. I think it used to be like worse. I think
100%.
The gap now is there's not really a gap. I feel like we're pretty good.
Because I would have thought if anything, your generation's talked about, transparency and honesty and authenticity. They're the words that keep coming up, and I know they're words that are spoken and not necessarily followed through on. Certainly in the Instagram influencer world, where everyone's pretending to be authentic, the greatest irony of all.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, it feels like you guys feel confident to be yourselves in that space, and it's fine.
I think that's just been a growth thing as well.
Yeah.
I'm mature. I feel great at the moment, actually. So
yeah, you just gotta be confident in yourself.
Yeah.
And that hasn't always been the way. Hey,
no,
you've had some pretty dark seasons.
If we went to anyone and told them like, I know for me as well, because my whole family was Catholic, and then I decided to be Christian, and like for me it was one of those things like I didn't want to say to anyone. Like I won't lie about that. Like I didn't, but I feel like now it's much different because we're older as well. Like you get that confidence, and you get that confidence to tell it. Like
and I think it's also just maturity as well as you grow
100%.
up. Yeah, you gain more confidence in who you are.
Yeah.
The tattoo on your arm, which you got while you were away on a boys' trip in Queensland. And my son said to me, "Dad, I got a tat." I was like, "Oh no, oh really?"
It's a good one though. It's fine.
It says Philippians 4:7, and which says, "Then you'll experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand, and His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus." And I think the guard your heart and mind thing is the one that keeps coming back to me. As parents, we try desperately to guard you kids from the things that this world, because the world's nasty. And then the greatest fear happened in our parenting generation, where suddenly these devices, you needed them to live, work, play, do whatever. And we've been so worried about not being able to guard that space. Yeah. And there's still a lot of challenges in that, and for lots of parents. But I'm glad to see two pretty healthy young men sitting here, and even challenging yourselves, it sounds like, to maybe get your diet right with the digital space as well.
Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed this chat with Noah and Nate from No Direction. I felt like we gave them some direction today.
Yeah, no, it's actually really good. We need you on every week.
Yeah, we need some direction.
Some more direction. So we'll keep talking. But my prayer, of course, is always that, you be able to guard your hearts and minds so that the peace of God actually goes with you. Because if there's one thing that faith professes, it's that ability to carry peace in every circumstance. And that's why Psalm 23 says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, Yeah. And I got to tell you, as parents, it's been a ride. And of course, Mum and I are still there. I think you've got little siblings too. Our youngest is still 8, and so it's still there, and parents really do carry an anxiety about this stuff. And so I just appreciate you guys talking about it and talking about the outcomes so far.
All good.
Hey, do you guys do a sign off for No Direction? Is there a sign off?
No, we just say
thank you for watching No Direction.
Thank you for watching No Direction.
Get the merch.
Subscribe.
Yeah, actually.
Is there merch?
If you message, we
do this all the time.
If you DM Blake Crawford.
If you
DM Blake Crawford,
I like hamburgers.
I like hamburgers. We'll give you a sticker.
Yeah.
A No Direction sticker.
We want to get merch soon, possibly.
Well, we're straight up, that's a lot of work.
We're working on a logo.
We're also doing limited edition hoodie.
Yeah.
Soon.
So limited it doesn't exist.
No, we're actually in the process of designing it.
It's not hard to design a hoodie. I've seen.
No, it is. There's a lot of simple. No, we're trying to make actual good hoodies.
Not the ones
that
all look the
same. Your brother showed me a YouTuber the other day, and he goes, he actually designed that, and it was one word on the middle of the. I was like, he didn't design anything. He chose a font and stuck it on a hoodie, and then charged you $60.
No, ours will be good. Trust me.
Ours is good.
I don't even like hoodies.
Coming soon.
Anyways,
my favorite. You want to know my favorite hoodie was?
Thanks for listening.
My favorite hoodie was the one I made in Year 9 sewing class. Do you guys even have sewing classes?
Thanks for listening. Ooh.